face a Cal Poly squad that shocked the Aztecs when these two teams met back in 2008. Mountain West football on the mountain starts right now. We welcome you to beautiful San Diego, California, America's finest city. The conditions have been perfect all day. It should be a great night for football. Two old rivals in the Pacific Coast Athletic Association, no longer conference rivals, but Cal Poly and San Diego State are set to kick off the 2011 campaign. There he is, Rocky Long. He looks like he's been chiseled out of a block of granite with a name and a game to match. He is the head coach of San Diego State and excited to see what the 2011 edition is about to bring. Hi, folks. Along with Jay Lewinberg, I'm Bill Dolman. Great to have you with us tonight for what should be a terrific night of football here in San Diego. Well, Rocky Long is familiar to everybody in the Mountain West, and fortunately for him, he's got some stars on his side that everybody in the conference and perhaps in the country are going to be familiar with.
Well, it all starts with Ronnie Hillman, the leading rusher of the Mountain West Conference last season. They're going to rely on him very heavily tonight, and I think that it's going to be key, and also to have that physical, tough mentality that Rocky Long's been waiting for.
And that running game has really helped out this guy, Ryan Lindley, who many regard as one of the top quarterbacks in the country.
Well, the question is, who's he going to throw it to, though? Because they have lost their receiving duo, both in the NFL now, and their leading receiver only has 4 catches on his resume, so don't be surprised if they find that tight end tonight.
Yeah, DeMarco Sampson and Vincent Brown are both gone, so it's going to be a real audition for the guys on the outside. Ryan Lindley goes into his senior season with some unfinished business against Cal Poly. He made his first career start back in 2008 against the Mustangs, and the Mustangs came in here and won the game on the final play, a field goal that really shocked everybody.
Well, both head coaches say these are two totally different teams, and they're not dwelling on that game. But I bet you San Diego State is doing it a little bit more, because this game means a lot, not only to Ryan Lindley, but defensively, Rocky Long doesn't know what to prepare for, so expect some trickery and a lot of different formations from Cal Poly tonight.
Interesting that Rocky Long says he did not watch that game from back in 2008, but he has read the game recap to his team a couple of times. Well, there was a buzz about football in September here in San Diego, and it's not all about the Chargers. Nope, the Aztecs are on the marquee with Rocky, Ryan, and Ronnie leading the way, and they're going to take on the Mustangs next on the mountain. Mountain West Football on the Mountain is brought to you by Jeep. Visit Jeep.com or your local dealer. By Remax, the sign you want, the agent you need. And by Sprint. All football, no limits, only from Sprint.
Where does Scott Serra get his computer-like knack for stats?
I'm Scott Serra. Remember, if you're not thinking about numbers,
the number you have dialed is not
What the heck?
Hey, he came unplugged again. Don't worry. I got it. There you go.
you're not thinking. Hey, it's the peanut gallery. What are you guys doing here?
This is the worst internship ever.
Scott Serra, he's plugged into the stats on It's a Numbers Game, Wednesday at 7 on the Mountain. Around the Mountain, sports talk that tackles the top stories in the Mountain West with spirited debate.
They will have that revenge motivation.
That goes right out the window. It has no bearing.
And in-depth insight.
He's too good of a talent. He's going to be a great ambassador for your team.
Emotionally, for these guys, that had to have been pretty intense.
Join sports reporters from across the conference as they share their views on the latest news.
It always gives us something good to talk about.
Around the Mountain, presented by Jeep. Wednesday at 7:30 on the Mountain.
What about Kim?
She has HIV. She got high, got stupid, and now she has HIV.
Go inside the game plan every week
on all 22.
This play right here changed the game. He's going to come in way too steep.
Join the Mountains experts to break down the plays.
You're going to get a zone running scheme to this side. I love the way that they formationed this. They got the matchup that they wanted.
And study the strategies.
This is one of the most exciting players in the Mountain West Conference.
No one covers the X's and O's better than all 22 on the mountain.
All 22, Wednesday at 8 on the Mountain. Tonight on Mountain Sports Report.
We have a full slate of Mountain West football on tonight's show. We'll break down the debut game for the Boise State Broncos as they travel to Georgia to take on the Bulldogs. We'll also look back at today's Mountain Triple Header, including the first conference game of the season between the Rams and the Lobos. It's all tonight after Cal Poly at San Diego State.
Catch these stories and more on Mountain Sports Report tonight at 11 on the Mountain.
Hi, I'm Rocky Long, San Diego State Aztecs head football coach. You're watching the Mountain, where the West is one.
Welcome back to Qualcomm Stadium in San Diego, California with Jay Lewinberg. I'm Bill Dolman. Cal Poly and San Diego State. Tim Walsh is in his third season as the head coach at the Cal Poly. He's been all over the country, spent a lot of time at Portland State, and took over Cal Poly just a couple of years ago when Rich Ellerson left to take over at Army. And there's Rocky Long. Spent so many great years at the University of New Mexico, the last 2 seasons as the defensive coordinator here at San Diego State. When Brady Hoke left to go to Michigan, it was very quick and very smooth. Jim Sturck, the athletic director, turned to Rocky Long and said, the keys to the car are yours. Take over. And it's been terrific for everybody here in San Diego that news was broken. All right, the opening kick will be taken by San Diego State. This is Colin Lockett, one of the speedsters on the outside for San Diego State, and he's able to get close to the 20, an 18-yard return, and that's where San Diego State will set up shop. And there is the general of this football team, Ryan Lindley. He's been around forever, redshirted his first year on campus. His first career start, as we mentioned, was against Cal Poly. He had a good game, but they lost. Now, last season, more than 3,000 yards, and he goes into his senior year as a guy who was projected to be perhaps a top 10 NFL draft pick next spring. The lone setback is Ronnie Hillman, a very lucky number 13 for San Diego State. And he gets the carry, brings it to the near side, waits for a hole to develop, and is wrapped up just across the 20 to the 21-yard line. Take a look at the Aztecs along the offensive line. 4 of the 5 starters from a year ago come back. The only new guy is Alec Johnson, who spent some time at guard. He's moved to center, but the rest of the guys have been playing for a long time together. The backs and receivers are starred by Ronnie Hillman. Chad Young is a fullback. Quigley, Lockett, and Denzo are the receivers, as well as Quigley the tight end. But there will be a lot of tight ends that we'll see on the field tonight for San Diego State, including Gavin Escobar, who was a freshman All-American last year. Another carry by Hillman. Finds the hole across the 30 out to the 31-yard line. That's a gain of 10, and it's an Aztec first down.
Well, you can already see that San Diego State is going to try to establish the run. They started with the 2 tight end formation at the beginning, so to see how Cal Poly's defense here is going to respond to that and adjust.
Take a look at the line and the linebackers for Cal Poly. Johnny Millard, his father, spent a long time in the NFL. And in the secondary, Asa Jackson, the cornerback, may be the best athlete on the field for either side. Even though he's playing at the FCS level, he has the attention of the NFL scouts. He's also an outstanding return man. First down and 10. Hillman again. Picks his way across the 35, right around the 35, a gain of 4.
3 plays, 3 run plays, but 3 different formations for San Diego State. You can see that they're trying to set up one of these plays to where formation-wise, look for that tight end to be open on a play-action pass later.
Hillman last year, when he entered the season, was really unheralded. In fact, he had not played football for a year. He wanted to come to San Diego State. The grades were not in order, so he actually sat out, worked at a restaurant as a waiter, stayed in shape, and joined the team for the spring and was a star as a redshirt freshman. Lindley going long for the first time. He's got a man wide open, and that is Lockett, who's brought down inside the 10-yard line. A big, big play for San Diego State.
And that's what the running game will do for you, is it sets up the big play action pass. 3 straight runs, and maybe this is going to be the guy that'll finally fill that void for San Diego State at the receiver position.
That ball hung up there, and Lockett had to wait for it. Remember, Lockett has tremendous speed on the outside spot, so perhaps that speed got him downfield a little too quick. He had to hang in there, hang around, wait for that ball to come down. 59 yards on the completion. First down and goal now for San Diego State. The ball officially at the 6. And this is Hillman up the middle. Takes it inside the 5 to the 3. Johnny Millard, the strong side linebacker, wraps him up.
And I think these goal line type situations are really where you're going to see the mentality of this team this year in particular. Are they going to be the pound it, run at you, downhill? And so far on their first one, they're going to go right up the gut with Ronnie Hillman, and we'll see if they do it again.
Well, you remember back in the days when San Diego State had no semblance of a running game, everything had to be through the air. Here you see a perfect example of the run setting up the pass. Hillman off the right side, jumps over a blocker into the end zone, and San Diego State is impressively on the board early on. 3 minutes into this one, they do it with the run, they get the big play with the pass, and Ronnie Hillman finds the end zone, something that he did very often a year ago in his freshman season when he scored 17 times.
And great blocking by the offensive line and the tight ends. You see that Escobar comes in motion, gets that extra push that you need, and then Hillman with those strong legs is able to finish over the top.
Point after try by Abel Perez is good, and San Diego State is off to a 7-0 lead. 5 minutes, or 5 plays and 20. Ronnie Hillman on the drive, I beg your pardon, 5 carries for 22 yards and the touchdown. So an excellent start to the season and to this game for San Diego State.
And I think if you're Andy Ludwig, the offensive coordinator for Rocky Long, you couldn't have written a better script to start this season. Establish the run, find that receiver down the field. Very crisp, very efficient for this offense.
Chad Young, the fullback, also had a big block on that play. Gavin Escobar came in from the right side where he was positioned as the tight end, and he also helped pave the way for Ronnie Hillman to get into the end zone. I remember a year ago, we really did not know much at all about Ronnie Hillman until he had that breakout game at Missouri, a heartbreaking loss in Columbia. He had 228 yards rushing in that game, and the way he moved it, you could tell that those yards weren't a fluke. And he continued to have a tremendous season all the way through. Finished 10th in the country in rushing, set a Mountain West freshman rushing record. Perez with the kick, and it's a line driver that bounces to the return man. This is going to be excellent field position for Cal Poly. That's Asa Jackson on the return. And while we have a moment, let's go down to the star of our show, Jenny Kavnar.
Well, guys, after 11 seasons at New Mexico, Rocky Long said the last 2 seasons at San Diego State felt like a break as he just had defensive coordinator duties. He was only accountable for his side of the ball. This week, he's reminded how many things he has to worry about, including the offense. What's going to happen with the wide receiver position? One of those questions may have just been answered, but the other is he had to scout Cal Poly's offense. Is it going to be the triple option or the no-huddle spread? We'll find out shortly.
First play of the game for Cal Poly. Thank you, Jenny. The pitch is taken by one of the slot backs. And that's Dave, I beg your pardon, Dave Marr.
And I think you got both on that play. They started in the spread look, and then they came back to the more traditional option. And you're seeing the up-tempo that you didn't know if Cal Poly was going to do or not, but hurry to the line.
The quarterback is Andre Broadus. And the handoff to Mark Rogers, a transfer from West Virginia, who last year rushed for 882 yards. He takes it off the right side, and that's about a yard shy of a first down. It'll bring up 3rd down for the Mustangs. There's Mark Rogers, 5'8", 180 pounds. He's out of Hawthorne, California. And now 3rd and 1, and this is Broadus, wrapped up, brought down, fumbled the football, and Rogers, who was trailing on the play, alertly pounces on it. A big hit by the Aztec defense, and that'll force a punting situation for Cal Poly.
Cal Poly's lucky that that ball was recovered by one of their players, and great defensive pressure here, especially on a 3rd and 1 to blitz from the outside.
Jake Feely gets in there, wraps him up, and you see him rip the ball right out of Broadus's hands. Well, now it's 4th down, and call it 5. And back to punt for the Mustangs is number 48, Paul Hundley. And he floats one high, and a fair catch is called for by Leon McFadden, and that will take us to our first break. 10.5 to go in the opening quarter. It's a good start for the Aztec offense and the defense. Ronnie Hillman's run into the end zone gives them a 7-0 lead.
Daycare can be expensive. So to save some money, I found one that uses robots instead of real people. Because robots work for free.
Good morning, female child.
Are there flaws? Maybe.
There's an easier way to save. Get online, go to geico.com, get a quote. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance.
When we talk about being an Aztec, we're not talking about how you were back in the day, or who you thought you might become, or a face you put on for game day. Once you're an Aztec, you're an Aztec every day of your life. San Diego State University, Aztec for life.
Navigating today's real estate market is complicated. You've seen the signs. That's why having the right real estate agent is more important than ever. At RE/MAX.com, you can find experts in short sales or bank-owned properties or commercial real estate. Agents who can help speed up the process no matter how intricate. And that's good news, whether you're trying to sell or hoping to buy. Because the only sign you really want to see is sold. Nobody sells more real estate than RE/MAX. Visit RE/MAX.com today.
Beautiful sunset in a beautiful city. San Diego State has taken an early 7-0 lead on Cal Poly. An impressive opening drive by Ryan Lindley and the Aztecs. Let's take a look at our drive summary. It's brought to you by Jeep. Visit Jeep.com or your local dealer. 6 plays, 81 yards, 2 minutes, 59 seconds. Ronnie Hillman capped it off with a 3-yard touchdown run. He had 5 carries for 22 yards on that opening drive, and Ryan Lindley only put the ball in the air once, but it was a big play. They set the pass up with the run extremely well. 59 yards to Lockett that got San Diego State inside the 10-yard line, and they pushed it in from there. So Rocky Long has to be impressed with the way his team has come out of the gate. It was interesting, speaking of coming out of the gate, when San Diego State took the field, instead of storming out and running through the line made by the band, they were all kind of in a big bunch, a peloton, if you will, for you cycling enthusiasts, and just kind of marched in step with one another. Lindley rolling out, got a nice block. He's going to run out of bounds and keep the ball in his hands. Little gain, if any, on the play. Curtis Gunther is the one that sprung him free. Otherwise, he was in danger of being sacked.
You know, anytime you can say an offensive lineman's name and it's not a hold, that's a good thing.
So pickup of 1 for Lindley. Again, Hillman is the lone setback. Quigley was in motion going from the right side to the left, and now that's Escobar. And this is Hillman again. Bouncing out to the outside not once but twice and taking it to the 28-yard line. Let's take a look at tonight's keys to the game, brought to you by Ram Trucks. Guts, glory, Ram. Jay.
Well, let's look at Cal Poly. They've answered a little bit, but how will they fly? What that means is they visited the Oregon Ducks, so they're going to try to fly like the Ducks, and they also visited Air Force, so they're going to try to fly like the Falcons. And how will Ronnie run? Well, so far he's run pretty free, that this Cal Poly defense is going to have to shore up to be successful. In San Diego, are they going to be a run-pass mix, 50-50? And how are they going to fill that void at receiver? Who's going to step up for them? So far it's been Colin Lockett.
Very dominant in the run so far, but here's Lindley to throw again. He's got a receiver wide open. That was Escobar, and it's just out of his reach. He was wide open. And Lindley has thrown his first incompletion. That comes on 3rd down and 5, so the Aztecs will punt it away. And in addition to having a great tailback and a great quarterback, San Diego State also has one of the best punters in the nation in Brian Stahovich. Quick snap to it. And this is Asa Jackson, who's back to receive. He'll play it on a hop and reverses his field once, twice, and now a 3rd time, and is finally pushed out of bounds and hit very late. Flags are going to fly on that, and there they go. And the Aztecs have helped out Cal Poly's field position. That'll move the ball out past the 40-yard line. A 45-yard punt by Stahovich.
Well, you can see what an athlete Jackson is here, that he gets it off the bounce, says, I'm going to go right. Nope, I'm going to go left. And these are the kind of guys that scare you as a special teams player. And then, obviously, the extra 15 yards at the end is going to set Cal Poly up with great field position.
After the play,
Personal foul. Late hit. Kicking team. Number 6. 15-yard penalty. Automatic first down.
Well, they whistled that against Gabe Lemon. It looked like Khalid Stevens was also in there. Here's a few notes and facts about Cal Poly. It's located in San Luis Obispo, California. Beautiful part of this state. Member of the Great West Conference for now. They're headed to the Big Sky after this year. In fact, the Great West will dissolve after this season. There's only 5 members. Division II national champions back in 1980, and there have been a few notable folks who have gone through the halls of Cal Poly. Weird Al Yankovic among them, but you saw the list of alumni. John Madden, Ozzie Smith, Bobby Beathard, a longtime NFL general manager, made his name certainly with the Washington Redskins. Ted Tollner, former head football coach here at San Diego State, in fact, played at Cal Poly back in the day. That pitch is to Mark Rogers. He's pushed out of bounds. It'll be just shy of a first down. Gain of 8 on the play. I beg your pardon, it's 13, not 1. David Marr on the carry.
It was interesting to hear Rocky Long talk about his concerns with defending this offense. And I think you're going to see a lot more triple option.
Misses Rogers around the right side and spun down across the 45 in Aztec territory and just a bit shy of the necessary yardage for the first down. Well, Cal Poly has apparently caught that messaging fever that we saw become so trendy last year in college football with Oregon. Here's a 3rd down and less than 1. Now this is Broadus keeping it over the left side, and he has plenty for the first down, stretching to the 41-yard line.
Well, you can already see their visit to go see the Oregon Ducks has definitely had some carryover in the hurry-up style and now the board. So good coaches, they steal from other teams.
So first down for Cal Poly. And Rogers up the middle is smothered at the 40-yard line, a gain of 1. I was watching one of the games earlier today, speaking of those play boards that teams flash in nowadays. And Tim Walsh has clearly bought into that idea. But one side had Barack Obama, and the other side of the card had George W. Bush. And so I'm thinking, doesn't that give that away? One play's going to the left and one play's going to the right. That's pretty simple to figure out if you're on the other sideline. Straight up the middle is Jake Romanelli, the fullback. And he's spotted down just shy of the 36-yard line. That'll bring up another 3rd down play. 5 to go for Cal Poly.
I just want to know what the blue square means.
They couldn't come up with anything. Only 3 options on this play. And this is Broadus. Quarterback draw. Looked designed that way. He tried to take it up the middle, and he's tripped up, and he just does get back to the line of scrimmage.
And nice play by J.J. Atelli. If he doesn't make that stop by the shoestrings, I think that's a first down for Cal Poly.
J.J. Atelli, one of 3 team captains for San Diego State this season.
You're going to see him just a bull rush and is able to just trip him up with his foot. Not necessarily the form tackle that you teach, but it got the job done.
He was in the right spot there. So here's Hundley to punt it for the 2nd time. The drive stalls at the 37-yard line. And Hundley's kick bounces at the 10 and rolls to the goal line, and it goes up a Mustang into the end zone for the touchback. Vontae Smith-Johnson could not down it, so San Diego State will have it at the 20 when we come back.
It's the moment when push squares off with shove. When can't be done stands toe-to-toe with must be done. Ram 1500. Available 390 horsepower and 20 miles per gallon highway. It's time to test our mettle at the Chrysler, Jeep, Dodge, and Ram Summer Clearance Event. Hurry, these deals absolutely end Labor Day. Just announced, get an additional $500 cash allowance for up to $7,250 in total values. Hurry, offers end soon.
Only the Mountain. The Mountain brings you total coverage before, during, and after the game.
In the studio
and on the sidelines.
Nobody covers our teams like the Mountain team. From pregame rundowns to postgame breakdowns. The Mountain crew covers it all every game day.
Right here
on the Mountain.
Ram Trucks pregame, halftime, and postgame live. Only on the Mountain.
So what really revs up Great Clips Racing? Sure, it's rock star drivers like Casey Kane and Jason Leffler. But what fuels the number 38 are the high-octane hairstylists, 30,000 strong, spread across 2,800 Great Clip salons. Stylists with just one thing in mind, giving you the best haircut possible. Go get 'em, boys.
Rocky Long is in his first season as the head coach at San Diego State, but he spent 11 seasons as the head coach at his alma mater, New Mexico, 1998 to 2008. Winningest coach in that school's history, 65 wins. 7 of his last 8 years in Albuquerque, he led the Lobos to bowl games. And then left that job, but just did not sense the support that program had gotten early on in his career, and decided a change was needed for everybody. And so he stepped aside, and Brady Hoke took the job at San Diego State and invited his friend Rocky to join him in changing things around here at San Diego State. And so far, very good. And there's Ronnie Hillman off the left side, has a first down and a couple extra yards, getting out across the 30 to the 33-yard line.
And having a talent like that makes your job a little bit easier as a head coach.
When you take a look at the play selection, and again, I go back to, the history that we've become so accustomed to with San Diego State has been pass first, pass second, and if anybody could please run the ball, let's give it a shot.
And it would be a draw play.
Well, tonight it's 8 running plays. They put it in the air just twice.
And using a lot of these 2 tight end sets and then pulling that backside guard, and that's just a good old power game. And then they also have the fullback in there, so it's clearly a different mentality. Is San Diego State wants to use their strengths. You look that you have 2 tight ends, and then you've got your fullback. So what that means is you've got to run the ball. But this is setting up, and then you see the backside guard, and Bernardi, that is able to pull in there, and that's what I call a power O. But that's going to set up a play action pass later.
Here's Hillman, steps out of one would-be tackler. He's got Lindley out in front to run some interference for him, and Ronnie Hillman's into Mustang territory out to the 40-yard line. Penalty flags come flying in everywhere in front of the San Diego State bench. 23 yards on the play, but will it stand? Eddie Shelton is our official, our head referee tonight, the crew out of the CFO West. There's a lot of laundry standing right in front, or laying right in front of Rocky Long.
Illegal block below the waist. Defense, number 6. 15-yard penalty, be added to the end of the run. Automatic first down.
Is that considered a block if it's on the defense? But you can see Ryan Lindley gets his legs chopped out from underneath him.
And that's Bijan Samudi, the cornerback, who just got lower than Ryan Lindley, who was trying to lay a block. And so that adds 15 more yards onto the play. San Diego State has gone over 100 yards in total offense with 5 minutes and 20 seconds to go in the opening quarter.
Well, what I liked about that play is you've seen Hillman with the power game. You saw his speed, and that's what is so exciting about him as a running back, is he can do it both.
And Walter Casey is in there as the backup tailback, and he and Lindley are not on the same page in the playbook.
And minus that play, this has been a very clean offensive game so far for these Aztecs, but clearly I think Mr. Lindley went the wrong way.
Looked designed to go left. Fortunately for San Diego State, there was not a lot of pressure up the middle, and they were able to get that handoff. Otherwise, sometimes you see a situation like that, a defensive tackle gets a big paw in there, and you've got a turnover. So it's a loss of 2 on the play. 2nd down and 12. And Lindley to throw. There's the play action you've been talking about. That's floated too high for the tight end, Bryce Quigley.
And they had 3 tight ends on that formation. You see there was Shields, Escobar, and Quigley, and they look like that's going to be their makeup. That it was just a poorly thrown ball right there by Lindley, but he had him by a step, and they're going to have to find somebody that can make those tough catches.
You know, it's interesting in this era of spread offenses, rarely do you see the tight end anymore.
Well,
but here at San Diego State, we may see 4 on the field at one time.
Well, that's where Rocky says we have to play our best players, and clearly their best players right now are their tight ends.
Lindley throws a strike to Escobar, who gets enough for the first down to the 10-yard line. Beautiful pass, a gain of 17. Bijan Samudi makes the tackle.
And again, usually at 3rd and 11, you're not thinking that your tight end is going to be your best option.
Gavin Escobar, 6'6", 230 pounds, out of Rancho Santa Margarita, California. 19 catches last year. Of his 29 were for first downs or touchdowns.
And now he's in the backfield in the fullback position.
And Ronnie Hillman is back into the game, dancing his way left and right and up the middle to get to the 5-yard line.
I really like what Andy Ludwig has done with the offensive game plan so far tonight, that he's established that run, he's gotten the play action, and he's also gotten the big strike downfield. And I think this Cal Poly team just doesn't know what to do right now.
Ryan Lindling is 2 of 4 through the air, 76 yards, and Ronnie Hillman 9 carries, 66 yards. Second down and goal from the 5. And this is Hillman again up the middle. A little yardage there. He does get a couple on the play, and that'll bring up 3rd down. Ronnie Hillman's out of La Habra, California. Carried the ball 262 times a year ago. 1,532 yards, averaged 117 yards per game. He's closing in on the century mark already in the opening quarter. Those 117-plus yards last season ranked him 10th in the country. First team all-conference and a freshman All-American. And now he's on a whole lot of watch lists, and he's just a sophomore. 3rd down and goal from the 4, and Lindley to throw. Lofting it out there, and he's all alone for the touchdown. And that's Gavin Escobar with the catch. 2 catches on this drive, and this one a 4-yard touchdown reception. He was all by himself in the back of the end zone.
Well, especially on the goal line, when you've run the ball that well, you have got to honor that fake, and that allows Escobar to be wide open, because that linebacker fills on any of the action to Ronnie Hillman.
Abel Perez for the point after. It's good, and San Diego State with 2:31 to play in the opening period has taken a 14-0 lead on Cal Poly.
Mountain West fans, put your football knowledge to the test and win with the Mountain Challenge, protected by Exo Skins, only from the Mountain. Every week during football season, log on to the Mountain's website at themtn.tv. Make your predictions for the weekend's Mountain West football games, and you could win a Mountain Tailgate cooler chair, an Apple iPad courtesy of Simply Mac, or a trip to a Mountain West bowl game. Play the Mountain Challenge, protected by Exo Skins at themtn.tv, only from the Mountain.
When you finish a season undefeated and you don't get to play in the national title game, it's safe to say you have an axe to grind. When you win the Commander-in-Chief's trophy and in your spare time you're learning to fly an F-16, you're not afraid of anybody. TCU and Air Force, next Saturday at 3. College football on Persons.
It seems everyone is saying they have the best unlimited plan. Here's the truth. AT&T and Verizon give you unlimited text and talk, but charge you extra for going over 2 gigabytes of data. T-Mobile claims they're unlimited, but use your phone a lot, and they slow down your data speed. With Sprint, you don't get charged extra, you don't slow down, and you get unlimited data, text, and calling to any mobile for only $79.99. The best unlimited plan wins.
Double coverage is brought to you by Geico, saving people money on more than just car insurance. And this is a cool look at the touchdown that we just saw.
Well, you're going to see what a play action will do for you. That number 11 for Cal Poly, Johnny Millard, is supposed to have him. Oops. That's what happens when you have a great running attack. And what a great shot. You see it both ways, from the typical side shot and then also the end zone. So it's a great look, particularly on that play. It's like they drew it up for us.
Abel Perez will kick it off for San Diego State, who leads this game 14-0. Number 1 for Cal Poly on the right is Mark Rogers. The other return man is Asa Jackson, the cornerback. Both are outstanding in the kick return game. Another liner that bounces past Rogers. It rolls into the end zone, and my guess is he's going to stay right there. So a touchback will give the Mustangs the football at the 20-yard line. The drive summary brought to you by Jeep. An impressive 9-play drive, 80 yards. Covered that distance in 4 minutes and 9 seconds, and it was capped by Gavin Escobar's 4-yard touchdown reception. And Ronnie Hillman had a whole lot to do with that as well. Ronnie Hillman, it's been interesting the way San Diego State has used him during fall camp. There were a couple of scrimmages that Rocky Long had, and he didn't even play at all. He said, look, he's going to get banged up during the course of the season. We don't need to do that to him during fall camp. Very smart. But he also told us he's not afraid to put Ronnie Hillman back in kick coverage.
Well, so far, Cal Poly's been afraid to throw the ball, and I think at this rate, they're going to have to start this option offense.
It's a beautiful option play to Rogers, but he dropped the football in front of the Aztec bench. There's a whole lot more black jerseys around the ball than Mustangs, but it looks like Cal Poly's going to maintain possession.
Cal Poly benefited from the sideline there. The ball came out a nice read by Broadus and just lost the ball. And then unfortunately for San Diego State, but fortunately for Cal Poly, goes out of bounds.
First down for the Mustangs, 4 carries, 23 yards in this game for Rogers. This is Deontay Williams, a slot back with the carry, his first of the game. Williams spent all of last year here at San Diego State. He initially began his collegiate career at Northern Arizona, transferred away, wanted to play at San Diego State. It just did not work out, and the emergence of Ronnie Hillman did not allow for it. Now here's Broadus, his first pass is caught at the 50-yard line.
That was a good-looking throw.
Gain of 13. And that's Chris Nichols with the catch. That's a terrific throw by Broadus. A lot of Aztecs around that. And this is Broadus off the right side, bouncing outside near the sideline. Big gain for the Mustangs to the 25-yard line.
And it was interesting talking to Rocky Long in meetings. He said, I don't know why this guy didn't play every game last year. Well, he was hurt. That's why he didn't play, but Rocky was very impressed with his athleticism, and as you can see it here, his speed. He's able to break tackles, and he's very elusive in the open field.
Larry Parker finally brought him down. First and 10. The ball is at the 26-yard line. And the Mustangs slow things down to get the play from the sidelines. And the pitch to Rogers. He's got room to run around the right side and then steps out of bounds just shy of the first down yardage. The ball will be spotted at the 17-yard line of San Diego State. Gain of 9 on the play.
And you would think that Rocky Long would be comfortable seeing Air Force in a triple option, but this is a different type of triple option, and there are a lot of different reads for his defense. And Rocky, particularly in that 3-3-5 package, he likes to disguise things, but this makes him and his defense be a little bit more conservative.
Broadus with the pitch, and this is Deontay Williams. Across the 15 down to the 13-yard line, and that's another Mustang first down. So after falling behind 14-0, Cal Poly has certainly turned things around and been much more purposeful in this drive, which began back at the 20-yard line. Here's the pitch to Williams going to the right side. Good speed, but he can't get the corner, and he is ridden out hard. And a flag comes flying in, and that's going to be the second late hit on the Aztecs, hitting somebody out of bounds.
Particularly this early in the season, you just have too much adrenaline, too much, and you just can't do that. Clearly he was out of bounds. You have to be able to let up on a play like that.
68 yards on this drive. Rene Siluano is the one who applied the late hit, and that sets the Mustangs up with first down and goal at the 4. Broadus keeps it himself and runs into a wall at the 3. He was stopped quickly, and that's Siluano again.
Now that hit is completely acceptable.
Legal and lethal.
Exactly. That was a great play.
And that's the final play of the first quarter. It's an impressive start for San Diego State, but a pretty good finish to the opening 15 minutes by Cal Poly. When we come back, the Mustangs will have it second down and goal from the 3.
Mountain Sports Report, crossing the conference to cover the Mountain West sports scene.
I like to take things to the extreme. Probably more driven now than ever.
Join the Mountains team for coverage of your teams.
This was the best season in Mountain West Conference history.
What we've done the past 2 years speaks for itself.
From the latest news,
we came out hard and aggressive tonight and got the victory,
to stories that reach beyond the game.
This is not something that affects 1 or 2 people. This affects everybody.
Mountain Sports Report, presented by Dodge, tonight at 11 on the Mountain.
Big Brothers Big Sisters makes a huge impact for children. We need people like you, as volunteers, as champions for children, and as donors. You'll find it's easier than you may think. So are you in? Inspired? Involved? Invested? To find out how you fit in, visit BigBrothersBigSisters.org today.
Go inside the game plan every week
on all 22.
This play right here changed the game. He's going to come in way too steep.
Join the Mountains experts to break down the plays.
You're going to get a zone running scheme to this side. I love the way that they formationed this. They got the matchup that they wanted.
And study the strategies.
This is one of the most exciting players in the Mountain West Conference.
No one covers the X's and O's better
than all 22 on the Mountain.
All 22, Wednesday at 8 on the Mountain.
The city of San Diego is pretty day or night, and that is quite a scene from across the bay. And quite a ball game going on right now here at Qualcomm Stadium. San Diego State has a 14-0 lead, but the Mustangs of Cal Poly have marched all the way down to the Aztec 3-yard line. 8 plays, 77 yards have been covered over the last 2 minutes and 31 seconds, and the Mustangs are trying to punch one in and punch back at San Diego State. Broadus is the quarterback, Andre Broadus, the junior out of Portland, Oregon. Prior to today, he'd only played in 4 games in his career at Cal Poly. He has still not played a home game. That's Rogers who goes in motion. He's got pursuit in the backfield. He gets the corner and he gets the touchdown. Excellent speed by Mark Rogers to get to the outside and get away from those Aztec defenders and get into the end zone and get the Mustangs on the board.
Looked like Jordan Thomas was going to be able to make that play, but he just didn't have the speed to catch Rogers. As you look at him right here, it's up. Nope, I'm going to run away. And then you have Miles Burris also, but great speed by Rogers to make it to the corner and get to the pylon.
James Langford, a sophomore, is the place kicker, number 86. Doug Shumway, the backup quarterback, is the holder. The kick is good, and Cal Poly is on the board and cut the lead in half.
Well, it's just a simple sweep with not so simple of a running back. That, you know, that's the thing that they said distinguishes Rogers from Williams, is the fact that Mark Rogers is just a little bit faster.
Well, Rogers is very fast. He runs a 10.500 meters. He's also a trackster at Cal Poly. He's a part of the 4x100 meter relay team. Also is an outstanding high school track athlete. He's been clocked as fast as 10.4. There he looked like he was running a 2:20 the other way, going to the left side.
You know, anything that says 10, you know, that's just, I can't even see that. For me, I do 10 yards in 10 seconds, not 100.
I was going to say maybe that might be around your 40 time, but I was not going to do that.
About a second for every 10 yards. Ish.
14-7 our score, 4 seconds into the second quarter of play here at Qualcomm. Going to have a very special guest joining Jenny in just a moment. So we invite you to listen closely for that. That's Langford's kick into the corner. Lockett fields it at the 3. Can he show his speed? He's got a lot of traffic he's got to get through. He's across the 20, pushed out of bounds at the 24-yard line. And now let's go down to Jenny Kavnar with a San Diego State celebrity.
Absolutely. Head coach Steve Fisher just signing a contract extension after a Sweet 16 appearance. What does it mean to know you're going to stay here for the next 4 years with the Aztecs?
What it does is it solidifies a program that has had success, sustained success, and then had a marvelous season last year. And it's not only me that I'm happy for, but Brian Dutcher named coach in waiting. I think continuity and everything that we have to provide now at San Diego State is in place to maintain the program that we have, Jenny.
You talk about momentum a little bit. You look at the way the football team played last year. It went into the basketball season for a successful year. Do you think you paid it back to them for this season?
You know, it's great to see a really nice crowd tonight, and we're so excited for Rocky and the football team that they will continue to build on what they did last year with a marvelous season. And I think when you have success in one, it helps the other. Doesn't matter what the sport.
Coach, we know it's a big recruiting week, and we'll let you go. Guys, we'll send it back up to you.
Thank you, Jenny. Ryan Lindley's pass is knocked down, and that'll bring up a 2nd down and 10. Our quarter stats are brought to you by Dodge. Dodge, never neutral. Well, until that last Cal Poly drive, these numbers were completely dominated by the Aztecs, but things have become a little bit more balanced, although Cal Poly has had very little success and very little desire to throw the football. Time of possession also evened out because of that drive, which culminated in the touchdown on the first play of this quarter. So 14-7 is our score.
And Ryan Lindley was very fortunate with that last pass that it wasn't picked off.
Back to the ground, Ronnie Hillman to the 35-yard line. And getting back to Steve Fisher, I know everybody in the Mountain West family was excited to hear that news that Coach Fisher, who has been around the Mountain West as long as just about everybody except for Craig Thompson, the commissioner, he's been on the bench here at San Diego State since the opening tip of Mountain West basketball. He'll be here another 4 years, and as he mentioned, Brian Dutcher, who has been a loyal assistant to him and co-assistant with him all the way back to their days at Michigan. They've been together for more than 20 years. He does a tremendous job right along Steve's side, and it's good that he'll be here as well. They're very excited about basketball. When you go to Viejas Arena for a basketball game nowadays, it is as good and intense of a college basketball atmosphere as there is anywhere. And he talked about one program complementing the other. We heard the announcement, Jay, before the game that the student section is at capacity. It's overflowing. Folks need to find seats elsewhere. There's plenty of them here at Qualcomm. We will say that. It's not nearly a capacity, but the students have filled their allotment of tickets, and they've had to find seating elsewhere for them. And that is great when you can get the students buying into the football, to the basketball. Women's basketball is also very strong here on the Mesa. Coach Fisher is somebody who's looked at very, very respectfully by everybody here in San Diego.
Well, and I can tell you, as a player, those student sections are always the loudest, and those are the ones that you know, okay, I've got a class with that guy. I've seen that one around campus, and it actually does help you get some of that enthusiasm, some of that energy, and you know, it's just great for the university. And I think it's also a credit to both basketball and football, and they will complement each other.
Lockett picked up 6 on that previous carry. Now 2nd down and 4. The Aztecs moving to midfield. Hillman bounces near side. Picks up about a yard on that play.
You know, that's not going to go down as one of his best runs, but that was one of his best runs tonight because it was supposed to be an inside play, and they had blitzed inside and completely shut it down. And instead of losing 3 yards, Hillman is able to come around the side. You'll see the pressure inside right here is, instead of taking a 3-yard loss, he's able to still keep them on schedule, as they say offensively.
San Diego State 2 of 3 on third down conversions. The gain of 2 for Hillman, and Lindley to throw. Pass is caught by Quigley, and he moves forward into Mustang territory. Plenty for the first down. It'll be 1st and 10 from the Cal Poly 46-yard line. Asif Jackson wrapped him up and brought him down.
Well, and you can see what these formations are doing in the personnel groupings for San Diego State is you have Quigley at 6'5", being covered by Jackson at 5'11", and that's a mismatch every time. Rocky Long said, hey, they just throw it up in practice and they might be quote covered, but they're making a lot of catches.
Tonight's 1st and 10 line is brought to you by Remax, the sign you want, the agent you need. Escobar goes in motion and now settles into the backfield, and this is Hillman off the left side. Big hole, big run. Hillman to the 23-yard line.
And these are the little things that Coach Long loves, of all things, about Ryan Lindley. Ryan Lindley checked that play at the line of scrimmage. If you can see that, he taps his helmet and he goes and he tells his line in his running back helmet, hey, this is what we're going to do. And when you talk to Andy Ludwig, he sometimes lets Lindley have up to 4 plays to choose from at the line of scrimmage, and clearly got on the right play that time.
Big pickup for Hillman, 32 yards. Now 1st down and 10 from the 24-yard line. Lindley to throw again. This is intended for Ronnie Hillman, and it's batted away. Johnny Millar, the linebacker, covered on the play and had tight coverage, and Lindley had to be perfect in his precision, and he wasn't.
And you see the smile. He knew that he could have thrown a little bit better ball there. But, you know, that's one of the things that Lindley does is he's got that arm strength, but he's also got that ability to loft the ball to try to get it over the top.
2nd down and 10 from the 24. And this is Casey to the right side, and not much there. Got back to the line of scrimmage. Kenneth Jackson, the middle linebacker, made the stop. May have picked up a yard. Now they're going to call it 3rd down and 10. Walter KZ is a junior from San Bernardino. Carried the ball 67 times last year for 300 yards. 700 yards in his Aztec career. Certainly doesn't get as much of the playing time with Ronnie Hillman, but they do like what he's able to do when he gives Hillman a break or two. And that's not very often. The 3rd down here. Lindley dropping back into the end zone. Lockett is there. He's got to wait for it again, and the penalty flags fly. Bijan Samudi covered on the play, and he got turned around.
San Diego State is fortunate that they got the pass interference call on this, but you can see the timing's still not there because Lindley had to hold the ball because he wasn't quite sure to make sure that Lockett was going to be there. You know, Colin Lockett used to be a defensive back, and so he had to get moved because of their lack of wide receiver depth.
Samudi still hasn't gotten up, and nobody has come out to give him any help. And finally, the trainers are going to come out and check on him. He had his helmet off for a while. And now he's going to get a little bit of attention. I'm not sure what the injury is. He's not been holding anything unless he just had the wind knocked out.
Yeah, it looks like it might have been that. See, this is one of those silly rules. You can't take your helmet off because of a celebration penalty. Let the kid take his helmet off and get some air.
Well, that's going to give us time to take a break right here. So let's send it back to our studios in Denver. Ted and Roger are going to join us, guys.
All right. Thank you, Bill. Roger Bailey here with Ted Sundquist. And it took a little while. Kellen Moore finally found his stride in that 2nd quarter. Where is he starting to find the holes in that Georgia defense?
He's using his controlled passing game, his knowledge of what they're trying to do, that identity that we talk about, and he's dumping it off to the open receivers time and time again. 25 of 30 for 231 yards and 3 touchdowns.
Well, you look at the score, 28-14. The defense really stepping up. Georgia 1 for 10 on 3rd down conversion. And, guys, it is a tough gig, folks, but the boys in the booth are putting their blood, sweat, and tears. Back to Bill and Jay out in beautiful San Diego.
Roger, thank you very much for understanding what we have to go through to do a game out here in San Diego, California. It has been a yeoman's effort. Appreciate the entire crew for all of the hard work. So thank you for recognizing that. Tonight's out-of-town scoreboard is brought to you by Remax, the sign you want, the agent you need. A couple of nights ago, Wisconsin defeated UNLV quite handily. Air Force earlier today, 37-20 over South Dakota. Boise State, after falling behind 7-0, has a 2-touchdown lead on Georgia, that on a neutral site in Atlanta. TCU, of course, lost to Baylor in an unbelievable game, perhaps the game of the year, and it was even before the first Saturday of the college football season. Colorado State opens up conference play with a win on the road, and Wyoming is over Weber State. 10th play of the drive coming up for San Diego State. Ryan Lindley has receivers split to both sides, and then have 2 guys behind to block it. Is the receiver to the near side. DJ Shields in motion, not once but twice. And it pitches to Ronnie Hillman. Trying to find the blocker, trying to find some room, dives into the end zone. No signal on the touchdown, but a penalty flag came flying.
I think they're going to get a holding on the edge. You just got to let go of him. You got him blocked.
Holding. Offense. Number 24. 10-yard penalty. Replay. First down.
Well, see, that's going to come with experience again. You're going to see Lockett right here on the outside. You just got to let go of him. As much as you don't want to, he's past you. Now stop. Just let go. But he doesn't.
Yeah, trust the back. Let Ronnie Hillman do a little bit of work. You don't have to help him out too much.
And that seems, it's easier said than done, particularly as an ex-lineman. You get those hands inside, it's like driving a car. Your hands are on the steering wheel. You don't want to take them off.
Well, you knew they weren't going to give him the touchdown. The penalty was going to go against the Aztecs because Richard Almaroth, the field judge, is the one who threw the penalty flag, and then Hillman dives near the end zone line, and no signal was given, and he was the one who was looking at the play. Ryan Lindley has called the timeout. It's going to be first down and 15 now for the Aztecs, and Rocky and Ryan have a little conversation about what to do next.
70 years of capability and freedom. That's a milestone we didn't get to by taking shortcuts. The 2011 Jeep vehicle lineup. Great fuel economy, upgraded interiors, uncompromised craftsmanship, and off-road capability. But here's a shortcut worth taking. The Chrysler, Jeep, Dodge, and Ram Summer Clearance Event. Hurry in. These offers absolutely end Labor Day.
During the Summer Clearance Event, lease the 2011 Grand Cherokee Laredo 4x4 for $339 a month for well-qualified lessees.
Leadership is being the first guy out of the tunnel and having all the guys on the same page.
As a leader, you should never expect or ask anyone to do something that you wouldn't do yourself.
Being accountable and leading from the front, setting a good example, and being consistent.
Doing the right things on and off the field. Always staying positive, having a great attitude, in practice, in the classroom, in the community.
Leadership means being able to trust the guy next to me and knowing that they're going to get the job done.
Could switching to Geico really save you 15% or more on car insurance? Do people use smartphones to do dumb things?
Send. That is the weekend.
Yeah,
Dog.
allow me to crack the bubbly.
Don't mind if I do.
Is a gentleman with a bro stash invited to this party?
Only if he's ready to rock.
Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance.
Time for the Sprint Unlimited update, brought to you by Sprint. All football, no limits, only from Sprint. Take a look at the touchdowns we've seen tonight. Ronnie Hillman with a short touchdown run. Gavin Escobar wide open on the pass from Ryan Lindley. 14-0 San Diego State, and then Cal Poly got on the board when Mark Rogers won the race to the end zone. That on the first play of the second quarter. 14-7 is our score. Reason for the Aztec Warrior and all the Aztec fans to be pretty pleased about the way things have started at the first game of the Rocky Long era at San Diego State. 10:17 to play before half, and the Aztecs have the ball. It's first down and goal. The ball is at the 15-yard line after the holding penalty and after the Aztec timeout. Hillman shows so much patience when he gets the ball, gets to the line. That time no hole opened up, but so often he takes a couple of steps and you see him pause to allow the line to do its work.
Well, and that's just maturity from being a freshman to now having that patience, having that experience to know that you don't have to rush it, particularly on those power type of plays that they've run quite frequently tonight, and having the vision also to know to keep it up in there.
Gain of 2, second down and goal. Lindley over the middle. That pass is caught by Hillman. He's wrapped up immediately at the 12-yard line, so they're just inching toward the goal line. But now it's third down. Brandon Roberts, the right defensive end, a backup, made the tackle for the Mustangs. Cal Poly is playing without Gavin Cooper, who is their starter at that right defensive end spot, and one of the best players on the team, one they figure will factor into awards at the end of the year, but he has a foot injury that has kept him out, and that will probably keep him out maybe another game. Third down and goal from the 12. Quickly over the middle, pass caught by Dylan Denso, the wide receiver. He's inside the 5 to the 3, and now do the Aztecs go for it on 4th and goal from the 3, or do they put Perez in to kick it? Asa Jackson covered on the play.
Well, that's their most consistent receiver, if you can say, having caught 4 balls last year, that he doesn't have that breakaway speed, but he can catch the ball.
Well, the Aztecs have given every indication that they will go for it on 4th and goal from the 3-yard line, and Cal Poly a bit nervous. They're going to take a timeout. There's Dylan Denso, who walked on to this program, and he's still a walk-on. He comes in as the leading returning receiver for Ryan Lindley with just 4 catches.
As a wide receiver.
Right, as a wide receiver.
And I think, again, that's why you're seeing so much of the tight end, because it fits into their power run game, and they just need to get confidence. You've seen Ryan Lindley, if there's been one negative so far, is the timing has been off with his receivers, is a lot of the lofty type of passes. That was a nice strike right there to Denso, but he hasn't had that many balls thrown over the middle to his wide receivers. It's all been his tight ends.
We met with Rocky Long yesterday, and I asked him, who has emerged as your top receivers? He said, nobody. He said, I haven't seen him play yet. Nobody's emerged. Well, when you talk to Rocky Long, you get honesty. And some of the quotes that we've been reading, the last year the receivers helped Ryan Lindley. He's got to help them now. The offensive line, not where we expect them to be. We expect them to be a lot better than they are now. And our goal is to be really good on defense. We're not really good yet. That is a tough audience that you're trying to impress. But when it comes to protecting his players, loving his players, and coaching them up, he's as good as there is. Here it is, 4th down. Aztecs going for it, and the touchdown goes to Denso. 3-yard touchdown pass from Ryan Lindley, who has gone over 100 yards passing in this game. And Denso, with back-to-back catches, has given the Aztecs a 20-7 lead.
Talked about the patience of Hillman. Look at the patience of Ryan Lindley. This is his 4th option. He's able to peruse the field, great protection, and then Denso just slips out underneath.
Alec Johnson, the center, also bought Lindley some time. Perez with the point after try. That is good, and San Diego State has regained a 14-point lead. It's 21-7 with 8:30 to go in the first half.
And that's a big score for San Diego State, because they had lost some of that momentum, giving up that long drive to Cal Poly, back within 7. And 4th down, you don't make that play. That's a huge differential there.
Let's take a look at our drive summary. It's brought to you by Jeep. Visit Jeep.com or your local dealer. 14 plays, 73 yards covered in 6.5 minutes. And Dylan Denso with the 3-yard touchdown reception on 4th down. And San Diego State leads it 21-7. But getting back to our conversations with Rocky Long and what we read in the papers out here in San Diego, it's refreshing. You don't get coach speak from Rocky Long. You get the truth. Sometimes it's brutally honest. And boy, when he compliments somebody, you know that it means something. And you get the sense that he really likes working with Ryan Lindley, loves Ronnie Hillman, Miles Burris. We haven't had a chance to talk about the outstanding linebacker. This is Rogers fielding it 3 yards back in the end zone and try and make something happen. He does get across the 20 and then steps out of bounds at the 26-yard line. All right, let's go back down to Jenny Cavnar, and she has yet another San Diego State star.
This one now in the Pro Football Hall of Fame, Marshall Faulk. What an exciting time for you in Canton this last summer, but you got to share it with Aztecs Nation. You gave a nice speech to them. What does it mean to include them in this part of your career?
It means everything to me, and I remember being in the stadium. I remember playing in front of the fans. This is where it all started, you know, playing in New Orleans, coming out here, having them embrace me, afford me the opportunity to play in front of a packed stadium and hearing people chant your names. Those are the type of memories that you don't forget. And I just wanted to let them know at an important time in my life, I wanted to thank them because I remember everything that they did for me when I was here.
Now, Marshall, you're still the all-time leading rusher at San Diego State, but do you feel like you're looking in a mirror when you see Ronnie Hillman run, and do you think he has a chance to beat that? It's
exciting to watch him play. He definitely has a chance. You know, it's all about staying healthy and you know, how long you're going to stay here. And he has the attributes that we might not get to enjoy him for 4 years, but the time that we do have is going to be special. You know, your records are important, but it's always fun to see somebody break them.
Thanks, Marshall. Back to you guys.
Thank you, Jenny. And such is the case sometimes. You have a celebrity on the sidelines, you get a big play on the field, and that is definitely the case. Lance Castaneda gets free on the halfback pass. Mark Rogers connects. Leon McFadden brought him down. A 53-yard game. You don't often rush a Hall of Famer off an interview, but a play like that, we thank Jenny for getting him tracked down for us. And it's great to see him back here supporting the Aztecs. This is Rogers, who completed that last pass inside the 20 to the 17-yard line. Look at that long pass play again.
Well, and it was interesting talking to Coach Tim Walsh, the head coach for Cal Poly. He said, you know, I don't like to say it, but we may have to trick them to beat them.
Yep.
Well, they beat him that play, and it was McFadden that made the tackle, but it was also McFadden that bit on the fake, or the fake run.
2nd down and 5 after the carry by Rogers. Ball at the Aztec 18-yard line. And this is the fullback, Jake Romanelli, wrapped up by a wall of Aztecs. Feely looked to be in on the play, as well as J.J. Otelli, 49.
One of the captains on this defense.
Miles Burris, also a team captain. Middle linebacker number 9, who rarely leaves the field. He's off the field right now. And of course, Ryan Lilly, also one of the Aztec captains this year.
Well, Rocky's always had a rotation system on defense, and it doesn't matter where they are. If your time's up, you're done.
This is Romanelli into the end zone. That's a Mustang touchdown. There are penalty flags on the play, but that's going to be offsides against San Diego State. And Cal Poly has answered the Aztec touchdown by marching down the field, thanks to the big play to get that touchdown run of 17 yards by Romanelli.
Defense, number 59. That penalty's declined. Touchdown's good.
Jordan Thomas, who snuck into the neutral zone, and that's Romanelli, who sneaks into the end zone for the touchdown. Romanelli's out of Templeton, California. He's 6'3", 240 pounds. His nickname is the Templeton Night Train. That's a good nickname for a fullback. The point after try is good, and that takes us to a break with 6 minutes and 20 seconds to go in the opening half. San Diego State has been in control, but Cal Poly is hanging right in there, answering back with a touchdown here.
September 10th on the Mountain. Mountain West football kicks off at noon when Colorado State battles Northern Colorado and Fort Collins. And at 4, it's a showdown in Laramie when Wyoming plays host to Texas State. Bears, Rams at noon. Bobcats, Cowboys at 4. September 10th in high definition. Only on the Mountain, where the West is one.
It seems everyone is saying they have the best unlimited plan. Here's the truth. AT&T and Verizon give you unlimited text and talk, but charge you extra for going over 2 gigabytes of data. T-Mobile claims they're unlimited, but use your phone a lot, and they slow down your data speed. With Sprint, you don't get charged extra, you don't slow down, and you get unlimited data, text, and calling to any mobile for only $79.99. The best unlimited plan wins.
Every third down, when we're on defense, hit him in the head with a big kielbasa. Let's go D! I'm Hurricane Harry, and I'm a huge Golden Hurricane fan. The Vols played the University of Tulsa Golden Hurricane in the Bluebonnet Bowl when I was in high school. I think in that game, when I was watching that ball game, I saw the University of Tennessee taking on a school that I'd never heard of, Tulsa. I just remember really being turned on by that. I haven't missed a Tulsa home football game in 30 seasons.
Aztec students are out in force watching the San Diego State Cal Poly game. A little nervous right now because the Mustangs continue to come back and get a little closer. 21-14 is our score. Hey, if you got the sign, put it down, especially if you're going to chest bump a fullback. That's kind of like what happens when Jay and I try that, which I don't try, but nevertheless, that's what would happen.
I might at least try to help you out. All right, maybe I wouldn't.
All right, let's kick it away for Cal Poly. This is James Langford. He's a lanky kicker, 6'3", 204 pounds. You might think about maybe a tight end or something with a guy that size. Lockett and Casey, Lockett 24, Casey 34, are deep to receive. And yet Rocky Long told us he's not afraid to put Ronnie Hillman back there to return kicks.
Going to have to keep him fresh with the amount of scoring that's going on.
And this will be Lockett. Short kick to the 10. Bumped at the 20, and he can't regain his balance, and he's down at the 21-yard line. Xavier Ramos with the coverage for the Mustangs. All right, let's take a look at our drive summary. It's brought to you by Jeep. Visit Jeep.com or your local dealer. Pretty quick drive, 5 plays, 74 yards, just 2 minutes and 10 seconds. Romanelli, the fullback, capped it off with a 17-yard touchdown run. But again, the big play was the pass from Rogers, the tailback, to Castaneda, who got free on a halfback pass. More than 50 yards covered on that one. And Cal Poly capitalized. So first down and 10, it's at the 21-yard line. And then he gives it to Hillman. Hillman trying to get the corner. He does. He's to the 30, the 35. And pushed out at the 47-yard line and bumped a little bit late, but will a flag fly? No, it won't. Big gain for Ronnie Hillman of 28 yards.
I think they're going to call him out of bounds back at the 41-yard line. Let's take a look and see. It looked like he was able to tighten up the sidelines, use that great speed to get outside. But it's hard to see from that angle.
Yep, they'll spot him back at the 41. So it's a gain of 20, still a healthy pickup. Over 100 yards for the 7th time in his young Aztec career.
There's almost 6 minutes left in the half.
He had a couple of 200-yard games last year, one against Missouri and another against Navy in the bowl game. And this is Hillman still working and moving to the 48-yard line. Johnny Millard brought him down. Chad Young with a good block on the right side. And that'll bring up second down.
Well, tell you what, Chad Young should go out for wrestling. Last time I checked, I don't think that's legal. They didn't call it. I guess it's the old adage, they're cheating if they don't catch it.
Right in front of the referee, Eddie Sheldon. He was okay with it. Gain of 7, 2nd and 3. Hillman straight back, hit as he throws. It was intended for Young, but the contact in the backfield sent that pass awry. Sullivan Gross, a sophomore out of Fresno, the defensive tackle, made the stop. Or made the pressure.
Well, that's one of the difficulties as a lineman, to try to sell that play action. You don't get too much weight forward. Gross was just a quick little swim move, gets right by the left guard there, Rivera.
So 3rd down and 3. Hillman getting a little attention on the sidelines.
Well, you got to worry about conditioning. First game of the season, it's hot here.
San Diego State is 4 of 6 on 3rd down in the first half. This is Casey. Steps away from one tackler and gets into Mustang territory. He's got another Aztec first down. Gross is the one who finally made the tackle. A gain of 7 for Casey, making the catch out of the backfield.
And a nifty move, just to sidestep the defender. And that's Asa Jackson that he's able to make miss.
And this goes along with something that Rocky Long told us yesterday. Ryan Lindley may throw as many passes as he did last year, may have as many completions, a similar percentage, but you may not see the big yards. This is Casey on the carry off the right side, spinning around and keeping his balance to the 40-yard line. But a year ago, you take a look at Lindley's numbers, 243 out of 421 through the air, 57% with over 3,800 yards passing. And Rocky said, look, we may throw that many times again this year. We got to keep Ronnie Hillman kind of fresh, but those passes may not be the kind of passes we saw when you just let Vincent Brown or DeMarco Sampson fly down the field and then launch it and let those guys run underneath it. Because everything might be similar, but the yardage, you might see that. You probably will see that go down, and we are seeing a number of passes, short passes to tight ends and out of the backfield. That's kind of what he told us.
What's also going to help, long, consistent drives to keep that defense off the field also.
KZ with the carry. He picks up another first down to the 33-yard line. Kenneth Jackson made the tackle. You see the DC on the side of Rocky Long's headset. That is, he's the defensive coordinator. He's the head coach, but he's a defensive genius when it comes to the 3-3-5, his scheme. Tim Walsh told us a lot of other teams say they run a 3-3-5, try to run it, but nobody runs it like Rocky. There's Lindley. He's got the touchdown. And that's Dylan Denzo, his second touchdown catch of the day. Wide open down the middle of the field. 33 yards in the strike, and the Aztecs answer the Mustang touchdown with one of their own.
Great pass, great protection.
And there was nobody around Lindley in the pocket and nobody around Denzo when he made the catch.
And one of those tight ends, Alston Ulo, had a great block on the edge to give Lindley that time.
Denzo, 3 catches, 45 yards in the game, 2 for touchdowns, and Perez adds the point after try. So Dylan Denzo's second touchdown catch helps the Aztecs get out to a 28-14 lead. And let's check in with Jenny Kavanaugh.
You guys talk about Dylan Denzo. You said last year just 4 catches, 39 yards. He's already surpassed that total in today's game. And he was found by chance. A former Aztecs wide receiver, Robert Ortiz. He's now a TV reality star. He happened to see Denzo his senior season in high school. He told Coach LaCharles McDaniels, check him out, give him a chance. McDaniel did. He came with a warning, though. He told Denzo, the best players will play here. You can come as a walk-on. Denzo did just that. And as we talked to the offensive coordinator, Andy Ludwig, yesterday, he said you can see him play with an edge. It's a quiet edge, but there's something motivating him every single day out there to show and prove that he can be one of these starting wide receivers. Guys?
Thank you, Jenny. Both of Denzo's parents were San Diego State students back in the day. And Denzo probably likes playing football. He's also an all-conference lacrosse player at Dana Point High School, starring for the Dolphins. And probably likes being out there with it on sticks, taking a swing at you every now and then. Maybe football's a little safer than that lacrosse stuff. Gets a little break, too, every now and then. Those guys run all the time, and that's...
I think he likes Ronnie Hillman right now, and the fact that that play-action pass is able to let him get wide open like that, and also having a guy like Ryan Lindley throw it to you, it doesn't hurt either.
So 28-14, and the Mustangs on the return will set it up at the 28-yard line. First down and 10. And now the play call from the sideline. And this is Broadus with the pitch. And Rogers stumbled just a bit. That did not help that play develop. Miles Burris in on the tackle along with Leon McFadden, the cornerback. Both of those guys are among the best defensive players in the Mountain West. McFadden is the most veteran of the Aztecs in the secondary. The front seven had a little bit more experience, but McFadden's a guy you may not hear a lot of during the course of the game because they want to stay away from him. This is Deontay Williams, the former Aztec. He did not play at all last year for San Diego State. Well, he tried to get grades in order and then decided after the end of the season that it might be in his best interest to move on because of all of the attention Ronnie Hillman was going to get. Gains 6 yards on the play. We'll bring up second down and call it, third down and 3 from the 34. Mustangs are 2 of 4 on third down conversions in the half. Broadus gives it to the fullback. That's Akaumo. And he gets to the 36-yard line, but well short of the first down. Jerome Long, the nose tackle, wrapped him up. And now it's fourth down and a yard. And it appears as though Tim Walsh might be interested in going for it on 4th and 1. Now they're going to finally bring in the punt team. I think he considered it.
Absolutely he did, and I was going to be shocked at this point of the game.
We're not talking 47 seconds. It's a minute 47 seconds in Aztec territory. And San Diego State, seeing that there's a potential for them to go for it, has called one of its timeouts. So 28-14 is our score with 1:47 to go, and perhaps he'll reconsider putting the punt team back in there. Hey, Mountain West football continues on Versus next Saturday at 3 Eastern, 1 Mountain. TCU and Air Force collide. Then don't miss Texas Tech at New Mexico Saturday, September 17th at 3 Eastern and 1 o'clock Mountain. College football on Versus. Every game means everything.
Be interesting to see if TCU can rebound. And Air Force didn't exactly roll today either.
That was 2 very interesting games for different reasons. The Horned Frogs have some questions on defense. Casey Paha, you got to give him credit in his first start.
Oh, we thought you were recording our
led them on a terrific comeback, only to see Baylor get a last-second field goal and win that game, which was phenomenal, 50-48. Well, it's 4th down and 1, and they have indeed rethought it. And a penalty flag comes in. An illegal substitution is the call against Cal Poly.